guys, this is Empty Box, and this is rFactor 2 with United Racing Designs Endurance Racing X Endurance GT5 mod, or something like that. Yeah, it's got a silly name because payware. Yeah, this is payware. It will set you back 10 euros or whatever 10 euros works out to be in your currency. Go ahead and do the conversion for yourself. With it, you get several different cars, all resembling real-world race cars from the GTE class, or if you're familiar only with the new Tusk series that we have here in the US, GTLM. Same cars, just different names. For example, you'll see such famous marks as Bayro and Arthur Merlin and Darche, or Darche. Darche? I don't know. I don't quite know, but yeah. All kidding aside, obviously you got your BMW, you got your Aston Martin, your Corvettes, your Vipers, and of course your Porsche. Because what would be endurance racing without Porsche, right? Or Darche. We're just going to go ahead and stick to the real world names because they're not fooling anyone. In fact, I have to wonder how in the world... Woo, that was close. How in the world they haven't been shut down already, to be entirely honest. And I'm not saying that to try and get them shut down. I'm just saying Porsche has lawyers, a lot of them, and they've shut down other mods in the past that have been free and harmless, such as the Indu Racers Flat 6 mod for rFactor, which eventually came out as a Flat 6 car rather than a Porsche Cup car, which is how it originally was. But yep, cars are all forgot to shift there, done in great detail, look great, look spectacular. Just kiss the inside wall and run that guy in the BMW off the road because he's probably a wanker. Did you know that new BMW drivers tend to be wankers? Old BMW drivers, though, tend to be awesome people because they have style, because they're not driving a new BMW. And I just offended someone right there who drives a new BMW, who's probably raging in the comments section right now like a wanker. Like to have fun, people. Like to have fun, okay? No need to get your panties in a bunch like a BMW driver. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. You stole an E30 and it was awesome, and that car was on its roof right there. See, you got a 25-minute race. You got to fill the time. You gotta keep it, keep the ball rolling. Oh. It is literally 1:40 a.m. as I'm recording this video. So yes, it is dark outside. Yes, I have the lights off, and yes, it is dark in the game. I'm just kind of like, so sleepy, but not, because there's Corvettes to pass. Just turn ones to navigate. I'd brake a little bit later, but a little bit harder to hook the car around there. We are racing on 117% difficulty. I don't think I said that earlier, so yeah. Either these guys drive really slow, the AI at Sebring is really slow, or I happen to know Sebring really, really, really well. So I'm thinking it's a combination of all of those. Although I suck in the hairpin. I'm just terrible in that corner. Thankfully for that Corvette, he on all four. It's just so nice to have these cars in this mod. You know, I know people will make it odds about you know, payware and everything like that, and the inevitable controversy that stems from that, but you know, rFactor 1 had the exact same thing. There was, you know, Hudson Kerr back in the day who was charging for texture updates. They looked great. They were fantastic texture updates. They made the game look much better. But, you know, what's the difference, really? I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can't disagree with it because I understand the amount of time that it takes to create these cars. I think a lot of people do, and you know, to have them this soon in rFactor 2's lifespan, you know, well, you can justify that, and it's not like they're asking a lot, and that's not me trying to sell this to you, but rather to get you to look at it more in like, you know, actually look at it detailed and not just go, oh, well, they're making me pay for it, and I don't like paying for stuff, because I want everything free, because everything should be free. Which, yeah, everything should be free in an ideal world, but, you know, people gotta make their cheddar. And the AI actually performs quite well in this mod, which is probably the most outstanding part of this mod. Believe it or not. They definitely perform better than what you typically see from rFactor 2. Cars drive nicely, really drive pretty much exactly how I'd expect, you know, a car purpose-built for endurance racing to drive. Very forgiving, very natural, I'd say. You know, no particularly extreme handling quirks where, you know, at this speed the car just like flips out and goes psycho or anything like that. Kind of slow through there. You can really feel the... This might sound strange to some people who won't necessarily have like ever noticed this, but you can definitely feel the brakes just kind of hook the car around there. You can really feel like the inside brakes like actually like slowing up the left side of the car there in turn one a little bit more, and it just like hooks the car around there so fast. And that was terrible. Told you, suck at the hairpin. Doesn't matter where you play this version of this track. Doesn't matter if it's the virtual LM edition of the track that you see in just about every single sim, or the iRacing version, which you see in iRacing, obviously. Hairpin always gets me. And this corner is my favorite. One of my favorites. So many favorites at Sebring, and that's why, as some people might remember from a previous video where I just kind of conveniently, quickly mentioned it, I'm going to Sebring. Yeah. I am going there for the 12-hour race, which is why this is a very convenient car track combination. I'll be there at the track on Thursday and Friday, or nope. Got my days mixed up because it is totally like 2 a.m. right now, people. But Friday and Saturday. I'm sure you guys could figure that out. Why would you go there and not go to the race, right? But yeah, gonna be making a road trip, so there probably won't be that much content here on this YouTube channel for you guys to watch new stuff. Go through the back catalog and everything. I've conveniently gone ahead and sorted things out into their categories, so if you're feeling like watching rFactor 2, there's a category for rFactor 2. Just click on the click on the My Channel thing, you know, go to my main page, and you'll get more. So yeah, there'll be a temporary holdup. Probably won't do any like vlogging or anything like that. A couple people asked me about that when I originally mentioned it. Just not really into that kind of thing, to be honest, but just throwing that one out there. So yeah, definitely very excited for that because, well, Sebring is a awesome track. It's my favorite track in North America for sports car racing, easily. You know, it's still, in my opinion, the biggest sports car race in the United States. You know, with the whole Tusk thing, I think it was clear that Daytona was what we expected, which is not a good thing. And if Sebring is what we kind of expect, given the regime, that sounds so political, because it is. But given that, you know, the people behind the whole Grand Am thing, obviously, and the takeover into Tusk and everything, it is kind of frightening, because I think if you're a fan of really any motorsport around the world at all, you should want good racing in the United States, because there are like 400 million people in North America, you know, between, you know, the United States, Canada, Mexico. You know, there's a lot of people. It's a big market. That's why it is a pretty big deal. You know, some people tend to be all like, "Oh, well, so U.S. centric." No, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in Europe as well, and that's where a lot of racing, you know, happens. So we should all be on the same page and want the best for everybody, because it all kind of relates. For example, do you European guys really want to see a Daytona prototype at Le Mans? Hell no! Please, just say no. Just say no. It just like so anti-forward, you know. Tube frame, brah. It's like you want our series to do well, so that way your series does well, and vice versa. It works better for everybody. And plus, I mean, really, to be entirely honest, GTLM or GTE here in the United States, or ALMS GT, it's all the same thing, was really the best, is the best, you know, place for this category currently. I mean, there's nowhere else out there with the same quality in that class. You know, and to me, it's kind of a joke that the WEC, the whole, you know, World Endurance Championship, doesn't have the best competitors in its GT class. Not even close. There's definitely some teams out there that can give these teams a run for their money, but you're talking about, you know, full-on factory efforts versus, you know, privateers, really. Which, you know, you could say, oh, well, that wouldn't be fair, but that's why the class is awesome. That's why I prefer it to GT3. You know, because it is pro drivers at the top level. You know, it's as serious as GT racing gets. I probably should have upshifted. So let's go ahead and upshift now. Car is pretty lively to drive. 10 minutes remaining. Just kind of wish some of these issues with the whole lighting could be ironed out, you know, such as the foggy haze thing that the front windshield becomes, or the fact that the Corvette in front of me has no headlights. I know someone's going to say, well, empty box, you got to change the max number of visible headlights in the player.ini file, which I have already changed that. Yes, it's a issue with the engine. It's an issue that was in rFactor 1, and it really does hugely, slow Corvette, hugely affect the immersion that you get from night racing. And overall, I think night racing, if anything, is a little bit too bright. I mean, I know modern Sebring is not the old Sebring where people used to get lost because it was so dark, but I mean, I don't even notice I'm driving at night, to be honest. Maybe I'd feel differently if I was driving like an Audi R18 or whatever. I have freaking laser beams for headlights now, but I just kind of feel like it's really bright. Then again, my earliest remembrance of Sebring, this is probably why I like this track so much. So Sports Car GT, which I didn't have the PC version, I only had the PS1 version, which I don't think was developed by Image Space Incorporated, otherwise known as the people that make rFactor 2. Isn't that convenient? But I don't think it's developed by them. But anyways, like one of the final races that you did was like an endurance race at Sebring at night, and you had the 90s GT1 cars. There was the Porsche GT1, the Pano's Esperante, no, the Pano's GTR1 I think it's called, not the Esperante, that's a later car. But that car was so awesome. But you had to drive those around Sebring at night. Like, I think it's like a 20-lap race, I want to say. If memory serves me right. It's been a very, very, very long time. But I remember TV that we had at the time was so ungodly dark. Like, even with the brightness cranked all the way up, and my driving was taking a hit. But even with the brightness cranked all the way up, you still couldn't see jack freaking crap. It was difficult. So maybe that's why I think that it should be borderline impossible. Although I will say, it's definitely better than before the update for rFactor 2, which added in automated HDR, where HDR at night would cause you to be basically blind. It's 7 minutes left. And just look at that. The AI actually performs well. I know I kind of got lucky with the whole speed thing and figuring out exactly how fast they need to be set to, so that way I can actually challenge them and everything like that, but I seem to kind of understand it. A little bit of everything up here. We got a Darche, a Venom, a Corvette, another Darche, a Venom. Guessing there's probably an Arthur Merlin or a Bayro back there. Well, there's a Bayro. You can see it on the rear view monitor. Which is pretty much how it should be, right? It seems like this guy up front, I'm guessing it's probably the leader because these cars have a tendency to always end up front. Strange, I know. He seems to be holding up everybody, so... Let's see here. 159.1. Yeah. Holy bejeebus. I've never run that fast at all here. Maybe I need to max out the old difficulty. Don't cut me off! Just gonna follow him through. I'm gonna push him through. Go! Let's enable the leader to get away a bit. Just see how much ground they gain on me going to the hairpin. A bit of tire wear. We are using the softer Sprint compound tires. Which I'm sure you saw as I switched to the menu pages there. No assists, as usual. Yeah, I know I said earlier that I probably wouldn't win this race, but seeing how we're close, I want to win this race. We've come so far. Only so little remains. So I know we're really good in turn one. We can really pass them through there. And kind of cheese tactics them. But into the hairpin, we lose just as much ground, so... How would you like to be that marshal standing in there? Never did understand why that wall sticks out like that. That just seems really dangerous, but it makes that corner so much more exciting because if you are 1 foot too far to the right, uh-oh. It's like you really want to be as far right as you possibly can because there's fewer bumps over there. Nope, not gonna get that one there, dude. It's a very fun car to drive. I like it. I like it a lot. I sadly know that not many other games are going out of their way to feature this classic car, which is a great disappointment, as I already discussed, but I'm just throwing that one out there. It's like, yes, I understand that Assetto Corsa will have the C7R, and these guys are going to be building a Detroit, which may or may not end up looking very much like a C7R. But, you know, gotta have the full field, and that's really gonna come down to the modders because it's impossible to have a Porsche license thanks to EA. You know, it just isn't gonna happen for any, you know, sim developer out there. The only people that have enough money to go ahead and buy that license off of EA happen to be Microsoft, and you know they're not building a racing sim anytime soon. So, you know, it really does come down to the mod community and, you know, to make it special. But it seems like everybody's just so infatuated with GT3 these days. Looks like we're gonna have 2 laps to go. Or is it just one? I can never remember which one is which, because in some games you have to get the 1 lap to go, in others, if you cross the finish line after zeros on the clock, the race is over. And that's kind of one of those things that also differs from series to series in the real world, so it's not necessarily unrealistic that I'm entirely confused which one's which. So let's just go ahead and have a dive. It's stuck! Maybe I shouldn't yell stick anymore because it didn't seem to work. Just look at that, the glorious immersion. A softly lit cockpit. A Darche, Sebring knight chasing down another Darche. It's just like, yes, this is why I bought rFactor 2. This is what it's supposed to always be like, right? Stick! I know I said I wouldn't say stick, but I just did. It's gonna be really, really, really close. We can't mess up Sunset Bend. Come on, one more lap to go. Come on. No! Yeah. The car is so active through that corner. So we finished second. Unless there was, yeah, I was gonna say unless there's some guy up like the road 15 seconds, but that stings because we came from the back of the pack. We did well. We kept the car clean. Had a lot of front tire wear, but that's probably from locking up the brakes there into the hairpin. Yeah, drifting 2 a.m. doesn't really work out. Just saying. But yeah, that's the old Endurance Racing X Endurance GT5 mod. So, hope you guys enjoy. Definitely give that Corvette a go. And if you like it, mod might be up your alley. Definitely. So, alright, bye.